allegedly fired at sheriff's deputies earlier today is barricaded inside. WCCO's Taylor Rivera joins us live from the scene with the latest. Taylor?
Laura, more gunfire could be heard here in South Minneapolis in the last 30 minutes. Police have blocked off that area where a SWAT sniper is in position on a nearby rooftop. Law enforcement authorities can be heard using a bullhorn to negotiate with the suspect, holed up in an apartment complex where witnesses say a woman, a young girl, and a dog may also be inside.
28th and Stevens. And I was walking up.
Yep.
And the police said, move back because it's a shooter. I said, what's going on? He said, it's a man in the building that's taking a family hostage.
While those claims remain unconfirmed, no injuries have been reported. Investigators remain at the scene as the standoff continues to unfold. An alert remains in place, warning people to stay away from the area. Laura?
All right. Thank you very much. Taylor Rivera reporting live from South Minneapolis. Well, the all clear has been given following an hours-long standoff in Coon Rapids. Authorities were called to a home on Edelweiss Street Northwest early this morning after a suspect in an alleged stabbing incident refused to leave the home. Coon Rapids police say an adult male who reported being stabbed was taken to a local hospital with a non-life-threatening cut to his arm. The suspect is in custody. Vice President J.D. Vance demanding that federal prosecutors investigate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and State Attorney General Keith Ellison over allegations they failed to stop widespread social services fraud. But concerns are being raised today about the Trump administration using the DOJ to target political opponents. Hamline University political science professor and constitutional law expert David Schultz.
The Department of Justice is supposed to be politically neutral, not supposed to be operating arm of the presidency. And I think there are lots of people who are starting to wonder now to what extent the Justice Department is playing fairly.
In other headlines, it is an air quality alert day in the Twin Cities and parts of central Minnesota, not due to wildfire smoke, but elevated ozone levels. The attorney representing a whistleblower within the Minneapolis Police Department says more could soon come out about the alleged misconduct of former Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. Chris Maddle telling WCCO's Chad Hartman today his client has faced continued retaliation for bringing damaging information to light. And you can now get your Minnesota hunting and fishing licenses online. The DNR rolling out the new system today, more than a week after shutting down the pen and paper process. WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
494 eastbound, make way past Highway 52. Got to crash off to the left side of the highway there on the shoulder. Traffic is slow as make way past the scene. If you're each other, 94 eastbound, got some slowdowns into St. Paul, making your way toward John Ireland Boulevard. Highway 36 eastbound, a bit of congestion, Cleveland Avenue over to Lexington. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
We got a show and it's guys and dolls at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters, and it's a knockout. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it blazing with brilliance. You got gamblers, romance, and show-stopping tunes. Guys and dolls, visit ChanhassenDT.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Chanhassen Dinner Theater. The must-see show Guys and Dolls is on stage now. Get your tickets at ChanhassenDT.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It stays warm and humid into the night tonight, 72 the overnight low. The storms out west will work their way across our great state while we sleep tonight, so don't be shocked if you wake up to some rumbles and some very heavy rain during the overnight hours. Tomorrow will be dry for a while, then scattered showers and thunderstorms will pop in the afternoon. Some of those could be severe, with all severe ingredients in play, from hail to damaging winds to even tornadoes. Tomorrow's high still around 88, behind the cold front that triggers those storms. Highs only of 74 and much less humid by Thursday.
Mostly sunny right now, 87 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota's Suggestion Box, the voice message feature on the Odyssey app. Hit the microphone next to the Listen Live button and send us your thoughts on your time. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
All dudes on the next space mission. Do we not care about this stuff anymore? I think we should. Drive Time rolling on this steamy Tuesday. We'll keep you updated on breaking news going on in Minneapolis. You heard Taylor Rivera with the latest. Again, a reminder of how dangerous it is when sheriff's deputies or local police officers, anytime you serve a warrant, you just do not know what's going to happen. So we'll keep you up to date, but that area is still blocked off. And so that's what we have. Stay out of that kind of 28th and Nicollet area, and we'll let you know when it's taken care of, hopefully in a peaceful way. So NASA today revealed the 4 astronauts who are going to be part of the Artemis III mission, and it's all dudes. And I know we're sort of done with DEI, right? Like a lot of people have decided like that's over. We don't need to worry about representation. Doesn't it strike you as weird when you see a lineup of all guys for something? I raised this here in Minnesota when Republicans endorsed all men for the lineup. I'm not saying that we should put our finger on the scale and pick someone who's unqualified for anything. I'm saying in 2026, if you have 4 people picked to go do something and they're all dudes, it strikes me as a little weird. 651-461-9226. I worry that in our zeal to con ourselves into thinking that we're a true meritocracy and only those who are most qualified get positions, that we're throwing out a lot of work that has made a difference for women. That in the zeal to say, like, we're not going to give black people or Latino people or anybody else who isn't white a little bit of a boost because we've decided that, I don't know, white people are getting a raw deal, I think seems to be a common belief out there. Are we leaving behind women? 651-461-9226 is our number. Dan is our space expert. And
I was locked in.
You were locked in on this announcement. When did NASA made the announcement? Just today. It was just a couple hours
10:30
ago,
this
right?
morning. They had their big press event. And of course, like only NASA can do, they had to have 18 people speak before they finally got around to actually introducing the crew, because what they know, and it's just the truth, is that people were tuning in to see who this new crew was going to be.
Who would it be? Right.
And as soon as that happened, they were out for the rest of the bit. So you got to get all the stuff in the front while people are there, and you've got them captive. And then they finally introduced the crew, and it's their 4-person crew and a 5th alternate who is also a dude. So his name was Bob, and he didn't get to sit on the stage with the rest of the crew.
Alternate isn't even
like, they introduced him, he waved everybody, shook some hands, and then he walked right back off the stage. I'm like, what? Bob doesn't get to sit? What the heck is that about?
That's rough. It's
and,
like when you're like a backup juror, you gotta go. You don't get to sit in the box.
You don't get to sit in the box.
Yeah.
So I was watching with a whole group of people. It was a live stream of it. Friends of mine, and man, they got done introducing the crew, and everybody was excited. But all the women in that stream that were watching were commenting, no female crew member this time. Everybody, they all were, big fans of Christina Cook and Artemis II. And look, there are more men than women in the astronaut program. So on a 4-person crew, could you come up with 4 very qualified astronauts? It's 3 qualified NASA astronauts and 1 European Space Agency astronaut, and have them all be male? Sure, you could absolutely do that. But when you look at this 4-person crew, you have, like I said, 3 Americans, one of whom is black, one of whom is Hispanic, and then you have the Italian member of the European Space Agency. So to try and say that there wasn't some thought put into representation on this crew is just utter nonsense.
Right.
They just decided that at this point there wasn't a right fit for a female, apparently, would be my guess. Now it'll be very interesting. Obviously, Artemis 3 is not a mission actually going to the moon. It's going into low Earth orbit and it's practicing docking with, lunar landers and that sort of thing. Artemis 4 is the mission in 28. Artemis 4 is scheduled for 28. That's going to be boots on the ground on the moon. That's the plan anyway. And so now it becomes really interesting to see, are they going to make sure that there's a female as part of that crew? Could there be more than one female as part of that crew to balance things out? I don't know, but I promise you NASA has put thought into this.
Yeah, and certainly today, I think there's an idea that that we're beyond this stuff. And I don't think we should be beyond this stuff. The idea of representation, has it always been as politically coded as it is today? I don't think so. There used to be an idea of we got men running all of these companies. We should have some women running them. We've got men as astronauts. And at a certain point, it was understandable, right? The astronauts largely were coming from the military, and the military, at least people who were in combat, it was largely men, all men. And so trying to have representation is a little more challenging, right? A texter says 2 women, 2 men, black, Latino, gay, straight. It's hard to distill the melting pot of the U.S. down to 4 people, and sometimes you just get 4 sausages.
One way to put it. But I don't know that that's wrong. I think that, again,
that may be it.
There is plenty
right?
of representation of various, ethnic groups and whatnot on this crew. I just think people got so caught up in that Artemis II crew, and especially with Christina, with the female member of that crew. I think she was the rock star of that crew. I don't think there was any 2 ways about that to then not have a female on this crew feels a little bit jarring.
Should we still be making an effort to check a box? Do you guys think it matters? 651-461-9226. I do think we have turned DEI into such a pejorative that we've lost track of the fact that there is value in having representation. And it's easy when you're a white guy to say well, it should just be on merit. If you end up with 4 guys, you end up with 4 guys. I reject that. I do think there are certain moments where the symbolism of having a woman, ensuring that a woman is part of the mix, even in a male-dominated field, even if 80% of the options available to you are men, if 20% are women, you should make sure you get one of the 20%. Texters, the only box that should be checked is who is most qualified. I do think that is one of the great misnomers in our world.
It's one of the most predictable responses to this.
I get why people believe it.
Right. But you have to think this through. If you think that the 4 most capable qualified astronauts for the last mission were the 4 that went on that mission, and they were the 4, there was nobody else that was qualified that could do that. There was just those 4. Then why aren't those the same 4 on this mission? If they're not the same,
it would
four
always
on this
be
mission,
the same.
Right.
Right.
Because there are multiple people that are qualified to do this, and there are only 4 slots. So you're picking from a large pool of very qualified candidates, all of whom are qualified. This isn't we're putting somebody in there that doesn't know what they're doing or can't fly a ship or can't be a mission specialist simply because of their race or their gender. We're saying there's this large group of people. We've got to pick 4. And if you, again, just look at the breakdown of this crew. If you think there wasn't thought put into this about representation, you're just fooling yourself. Now, so to say that maybe women should be part of that mix is not at all unreasonable.
4 seats on any Artemis mission go to flight crew. So it's always pilot and commander. In this case, so when you look at the overall U.S. astronaut corps, the research I did today, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the astronaut eligible group is 60% men, 40% female. But when you look at pilot and commander, it's 80% male, 20% female. So 2 of these seats, the pilot seats, go to generally military test pilots, and not 100%, but like 96, 98% of military test pilots are men. So I understand that part of it, but there were women in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not obsessing about this particular case. My question to you is more broad. Have we decided that we don't care about this stuff anymore? And I fear that we have. And we've convinced ourselves that, like, well, we've evened stuff out. We've caught up. And so we don't need these like boxes checked. We just can do whatever is the most qualified. Tammy on Facebook says it's reprehensible that no women were chosen for this Artemis mission. I have a daughter who works at NASA. I really feel that the mission of Artemis needs to have women on every flight. Go ahead and keep reacting. 651-461-9226. In a minute, I'm going to ask if you would boo a president. Are you a booer? Last night, the president of the United States got booed during the national anthem at the Knicks game. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. But would you boo a president? 651-461-9226. We're talking about a ton of stuff on the show today. Drive Time continues in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk insurance, because I do believe when it comes to your home and your auto insurance, having the best matters. Now, finding the best for you might be different than finding the best for Dan or finding the best for me, and that's where the Canopy Group has an advantage. It's Jason here for my team at the Canopy Group. Here's the Canopy Group advantage. They are going to take your zip code, your home's age, your roof, all of that, and then they're going to take your car, your family setup, and they're going to find insurance that gets you the best coverage at the best price for you. It's not about wedging you into one company because I've got this company's name out on the shingle in front of my office. It's about 16 companies that the Canopy Group works with. All of them are reputable, good companies. I'm a customer. I've used this coverage before. It's phenomenal. And the team is awesome too. Local team. Fantastic people. Give them a call. 800-967-3389. No obligation. You just call them up and say, can you do better? 16 companies. Odds are pretty good. They saved me $820 in my first year. Will they save you money or get you better coverage for the same money? Find out. 800-967-3389 or get a quote online. Do it at thecanopygroup.com.
We're talking construction law today with Blake Nelson, an attorney from Helmuth & Johnson. Blake, why is having the right legal support so important?
One delay, one payment issue, or one contract mistake can put an entire project at risk and be the difference between making and losing money. In Minnesota, contract terms, timing, and documentation matter.
How does Helmuth & Johnson help?
We help contractors, subcontractors, and property owners protect their rights, get paid, and keep projects moving.
Learn more at hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side, for all your construction law needs.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons.
Yep.
Decorations.
Yes.
Streamers, cups, table covers.
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy two, get one free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best parties start at Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In-store or buy online. Pick up in-store only.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Right here in Minneapolis, lives are getting second chances every day. NMDP, a global nonprofit leader in cell therapy, connects blood cancer patients with matching donors, helping save lives in our community and beyond, including WCCO's own Jordana Green. Now you can help. Join us June 17th for the Cure Blood Cancer Radio Auction, live on News Talk 830 WCCO. Bid on exclusive experiences with your favorite on-air personalities. Learn more at go.nmdp.org/radio auction.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Digman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think it's absolutely flawless. Whoever's idea was that is a genius.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
And we're talking a little bit about DEI in a way, right? In the gender side of things. I'm worried that in the zeal to wash our hands of any sort of, diversity or equity thing, that we're leaving women behind. And today, what brought that to mind was the fact that NASA announced an Artemis III crew of all men. Lots of text coming in about this. Also phone calls. Let's go to Jeff in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, thanks for calling. 651-461-9226. Do you think it matters? Should they try to have one woman on these crews?
Well, I'm just going to say this quickly because I want to make 3 quick points. I agree with you entirely. That looks highly suspicious that it's an all-male crew, including the alternate being 5. So I agree with you on that. Speaking of the space program itself, I see absolutely no value in going to the moon again. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I don't know what for. Do something else with the money. And point 3 goes back to a conversation. You were gone. Dan sort of led it about alien spacecraft, and he made a case for how improbable it is for them to have come such vast differences to haphazardly find us or come visit us or whatever.
Right.
Well, I've got the answer to that.
Okay.
They didn't. They've been here the whole time.
Aliens are living among us, you think?
Absolutely. Highly advanced race that evolved a long, long time before humanoids did, and they've been around here the whole time.
Any prominent people that you would say are likely in this group? Never know. I don't know.
I'm going to try to keep this not political, but
thank you, Jeff. 651-461-9226. Now, one Dan, I will give you 15 seconds to respond to we are wasting money by going to the moon.
I understand a lot of people feel that way. I just think it's a foolish argument. I think exploration has always been part of human destiny, and I think this is the next thing. And the beauty of science and the beauty of exploration is that we never know what we're going to learn, but we always learn something, and it always turns out that there's something we learn that's useful in ways we never imagined it could be. So you're investing in the future of the species. You're investing in the future of humanity. That's why this matters.
I don't want I don't want like China or Russia to do it.
Yeah.
Like from a geopolitical standpoint, I feel a little competition there that I think we should be in it.
The use the money for something else doesn't fly for me at all, because this is a drop in the bucket of the federal budget. If there's some other issue that you have that you think, oh, we should use that money for this other thing, we can find money for the other thing without cutting this. In fact, most of the time, that other thing will cost more money than what this costs.
Texter says, when it comes to literally lofty positions that people look up to, we should continue checking the boxes. So thinking about representation. When you think about paper pushers and all the brilliant people behind the scenes in whatever world, in those areas, you don't need a box check. I think there's some truth to this. I will say part of, I totally agree with this, because I come at this from a perspective of somebody who has spent my life essentially being cast for a job. So there are always multiple people who are qualified. I think I'm more qualified, but generally the way these hires work is you have people who are qualified, and then you're sort of taking a chance on which one you pick. And so by considering things like race or gender, I think that matters. Texter says, I think it's interesting that politicians most against DEI tend to hire very unqualified people for important roles. Another texter is mad that I'm stirring up another controversy. Why should a female automatically need to be included? It doesn't matter. Well, I think it does matter, and I do think there will be reaction to this. Booing the president. I'm not a booer. Last night, President Donald Trump got a very predictable Bronx cheer in Manhattan. Dan and I were talking about this before. The idea of booing a president to me seems ridiculous. Have I booed before? Yeah. Have you booed before at a game, at a baseball game?
Trying to remember a time that I did. I don't. I mean, I've done other things to show my displeasure, but I don't know.
I think it's a Vikings game that I booed at. I was at that really an atrocious Vikings game last year.
I haven't been to a Vikings game since I was a kid, so I have no memory of whether I booed or not.
Booing the Twin, it always seems like in baseball, it's like a weirder thing. Like when would you boo? When are you so mad?
When there's like multiple errors,
maybe.
something like that. Yeah.
In a football game, like you have that halftime where your team just poops the bed.
Yeah.
It's go time for booing. But booing a president, I don't know. I guess I'm not mad about it. I'm not.
Well, people get to do it. I mean, it's First Amendment expression, right? You get to do it.
But I also get to say, like, I think it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of stupid.
And
no matter what
like,
the party is.
I didn't like the fact that they did it during the anthem. I mean, what are you going to do? That's when they put them up on the screen, I guess. But that just seemed.
Was that a mistake by whoever the in-game production crew was? Like, when you put Donald Trump up on the screen, people are going to boo. And why do it in that moment? I know people are like, oh, it's inappropriate to boo. My thought was like, I'm not mad at the fans for booing. Like, I get it. But I just think it was a weird choice to put him up at that moment.
Well, except that, I mean, he's the president of the United States. It's the national anthem. If you don't put him on the screen at that point, everybody knows he's there.
Yeah.
Are you going to be accused of either trying to protect him, or is that some sort of liberal conspiracy that you wouldn't show the president during the anthem as he's saluting the flag? I don't, it may not be that there's no good decision to be made there.
Maybe. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one for sure. the joking boo when a pitcher throws to first base is my favorite.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that so much.
Why have people decided that like
I have no idea.
it's an automatic? Like, oh, that's a balk. Is that why they're booing?
No, because 99% of baseball fans have no clue what a balk is.
So why are people booing in that?
Because it's our guy on first base, and we don't like you trying to get him out. I guess is the only thing I can figure. Because nobody ever boos when the Twins pitcher throws over to first. It's only when the opposing pitcher does it. So quit trying to get our guy out. I don't know.
When the Astros are in town, like we boo those guys.
Well, yeah, but everybody boos the Astros, so
baseball booing, I think, is probably the dumbest booing. But no, Wolves fans were booing. Oh, which player was it? It was Jokic. When Jokic, whenever he would touch the ball, Wolves fans would boo. So you're booing one of the greatest players.
The dumbest baseball booing in Minnesota was always AJ Przinsky, who did nothing but play his butt off for the Twins, and then got traded by no choice of his. And then every time he came back, they booed the heck out of him.
I don't like people who are no longer with us.
But it's not like he said, nuts to you guys, I'm leaving. He got traded.
I don't have to care about that.
And by the way, trading him opened the way for Joe Mauer to come to the big league.
But did AJ Przinsky say nice stuff about us when he got?
I don't know that he said anything one way or the other.
I thought he was like,
he
this
certainly
was
wasn't
before my
dumping on
time.
Minnesota.
I thought he was.
No.
That's what I choose to believe.
I'm not sure he loved getting traded, but it's not like he was dumping on the state or anything like that.
I think it's all right to boo former players. Screw them. That's how I feel about anybody who used to work.
No sense.
Back when I was the morning news anchor at Channel 4, anybody who left us, boo! I'd see Carla Holt on TV. Boo! You left it, Mary McGuire. Boo! Who's left up? Roshini Rajkumar. Boo! Let's break. Well, speaking of former coworkers, mine. Alpha News, claiming that they were in negotiations to buy the Star Tribune. I have thoughts. You may have thoughts too. Maybe you think a conservative news outlet should buy the Star Tribune. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
I want you to think about what could be different in your life by the 4th of July. It's Jason here for Livia Weight Control Centers. What could change? For many Livia clients, and you should be a new one, it could mean losing 15 pounds or more, having more energy. You could feel healthier. You could be showing up for your family and your friends with greater confidence. All of that on the table with Livia. Livia changed my life. It really did. And I started, right about this time 4 years ago. Summer was a great time to start with Livia. Summer is busy with fun activities. But sort of those obligations, those nighttime dinners or whatever, I got rid of a lot of that stuff and just cleared my mind to focus on being the best version of myself that I could be. And the way I did that is because Livia customized the whole thing for me. It's a personalized plan. You're not going to get that online. It's expert nutrition guidance. It's one-on-one support. For nearly 17 years, Livia has been that trusted local partner. They've helped people improve their health and achieve lasting results. That's what you want. Lose the weight, yes, but lose it forever? Join Livia today. 8 weeks free to jumpstart you by the 4th of July. 855-GO-LIVIA. 8 weeks free. Livia.com. You are one decision away from feeling your best. That decision is reaching out to Livia.
Thought-provoking.
This deal with HCMC for HCMC is actually the very least our lawmakers could do.
Strong voices, sharp opinions.
Donald Trump makes his decision on law enforcement, on justice, when it benefits him.
Where you don't have to be loud to be bold.
I would like to get rid of mail-in voting, move Election Day to Saturday, and say show up or shut up.
Minnesota's radio station. News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
This summer, make the lake more than a place you visit. Make it where the kids learn to cast a line, where sunset cruises turn into family stories. Make this summer the one your family remembers with Bennington. Bennington is Minnesota's #1 selling pontoon brand. And right now, there's over 500 boats in stock at trusted dealerships across the state. Built for cruising, fishing, entertaining, skiing, and water sports, Bennington gives Minnesota families premium comfort, craftsmanship, and the kind of quality you can feel every time you step on board. New Bennington pontoons start at $29,999, and Tri-Tunes start at $49,999, with affordable monthly payment options and competitive financing available. During the month of June, mention this ad and receive $500 off your next Bennington purchase from participating Bennington dealers, including Frontier Marine, Hallberg Marine, Mankato Motorsports, Power Lodge, Miller Marine, Rays Marine, River Valley Marine, and Westries Marine of Wilmer. Bennington. Minnesota summer starts on the water.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Ref Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Expect congestion north 35E 94 heading up toward Little Canada Road. That 494 eastbound's jammed up, Highway 3 over toward Blaine Avenue, and you got some slowdowns north 100 past County Road 81 as you head up to I-94. USPS Ground Advantage reliable route, that's going to be 169 southbound, free-flowing 394 to 494. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan would like you to listen to this from Chris Schaefer.
There will be showers and thunderstorms, but it's overnight tonight, actually during the early morning hours. 72 the overnight low. Will be dry for a chunk of time tomorrow before more showers and thunderstorms fire up in the afternoon hours. Some of those will be severe again. A high around 88, still humid. Once that storm line clears, the dew point drops. In other words, much less humid by Thursday, cooler. Only a high of 74 with scattered showers.
It is hot out right now. Air quality alert still in effect in downtown Minneapolis. The current temperature is 89 on CCO.
Where curiosity hits the gas. Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
What if conservative Alpha News bought the Star Tribune? Chad had Alpha News attorney Chris Madel on the show today. Madel. I can't even get his name right. What else are you getting wrong there, liberal media? Alpha News is not going to buy the Star Tribune. They never wanted to buy the Star Tribune, in my view. They have pulled off an exquisite troll. So Alpha News is an interesting organization. If you go to their website and read the reporting that they do, and I've been the subject of some of their reporting, and frankly, it was very fair. It was very fair reporting. If you go to their social media and look at the way that they characterize their stories, they're feeding red meat to a right-wing audience. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Already on YouTube, someone is like, Jason, your attitude to Alpha News shows my... Listen to my words. Alpha News has reported on me and was very fair. So I have no problem with what Alpha News does. We have overtly left-wing media, like the Minnesota Reformer, and they do good work. We have overtly right-wing, like Alpha News, and they do good work. Is some of it bad? Sure. Is some of the Reformers' work bad? Sure. Is some of the Star Tribune's work bad? Of course. Is some of my work bad? Every day. I give you examples. So I will say that I do not believe that Alpha News wants to buy the Star Tribune, despite sort of the noise that has been raised, because it just doesn't make sense. They couldn't even get to a non-disclosure agreement. Chris was talking to Chad about that, and Chad pushed back a bit and was like, come on, like how serious were you guys about this? Because Glenn Taylor said, as soon as I found out, and Glenn Taylor has said, no, I never discussed selling the Star Tribune to Alpha News. The reporting at StarTribune.com indicated that, well, Alpha News used an intermediary. The intermediary was trying to set up an NDA and then get on non-disclosure agreement, then get on to discussions, but they never got past the non-disclosure agreement. So Glenn Taylor said when he found out it was Alpha News that he was like, that's not what I'm doing. Here's what Chris Madel said.
Why were you having your number one lawyer, deal with me to negotiate a non-disclosure agreement if you had no intention of doing it in the first place? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. But I get it. He needs to now kind of protect his left there within the Star Tribune and make it sound like, oh, I never was going to do this anyway. But that's fine. But it certainly seems counter to what I was working on.
I just think it's a giant troll that Alpha News gets to say, we were trying to buy it, which gets everyone to say like, oh, no, not them. No. And then it gets the Alpha News crowd to say like, would serve them right. Like it's just a classic online troll. It's a classic online troll. I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Everybody gets a win today. Star Tribune gets to do their thing. Alpha News gets to do their thing. I do think it's good that in this town we have robust media, independent media, that works from different sides of the political spectrum. I also think it's very valuable to have a news organization like the Star Tribune that at least works to keep that sort of political stuff out of the work. I do think there's a place for that. I think there's this sort of current view on the media that everybody's biased. And so if people would just admit their bias and then do their job, it would be fine. The pushback is supposedly because people are claiming that they're not biased. I would say the discussion on bias is misplaced. The goal for the media is to be fair. Are you biased? What does that mean? Are you fair? Did you give different viewpoints a fair shot? Did you fact check and analyze what people are saying? That, to me, is the biggest issue. It's not bias, per se. Now, I do think that my generation had a different attitude than some of the younger generation of reporters when it comes to trying to make sure you keep your personal views out of a story. We're in an information economy, an attention economy, and by being more definitive, that tends to get more clicks. I think, and I read the Star Tribune every day. I think they overall do an excellent job. If Alpha News bought the Star Tribune, if that really happened, I think that would be bad for Minnesota. If the Minnesota Reformer bought the Minnesota Star Tribune, I think that would be bad. I do think there is an important place for people who are trying to tell us what's going on in the community and are going after whoever's in power, whether it's the right or the left. The job is to go out there and do what we can't do. We're busy. And so kudos to Alpha News, but I do not want you to buy the Star Tribune. We're going to break. In a minute, things I don't get. There are certain things in life that you look at and you're like, I don't get it. I've got one. If you've got something in life you don't get, I'd love to hear it. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back on a Tuesday on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tell you what Chris Lindahl does not get. He does not get why so many are doing the home selling bit the old-fashioned way. It's Jason for my friend Chris Lindahl. You know the guaranteed cash offer. You might have thought it makes sense for people who are trying, maybe you had a death in the family and inherited a house or a divorce or a job change and you need to move quickly. That is for sure a valid reason to take a look at the big red check and the guaranteed cash offer. But there are so many more reasons that Minnesotans are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer and are getting that Chris Lindahl big red check. People are starting to trade in their houses like they trade in their cars, and they're trading uncertainty and stress for speed and convenience. So listen, I work with Chris. I've known Chris for a long time, but we know he knows how to lower the stress when you're selling a house. More big red checks because people are not in the mood to gamble on the open market. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to deal with all the stuff. They don't want to see their house sit on the market for months and say price reduction after reduction. It's happening a lot. When you say yes to a guaranteed cash offer, you say yes to giving Chris Lindahl the risk. You say yes to not paying agent commissions. Get that big red check today. ChrisLindahl.com. You can call 763-401-SOLD. Terms and conditions may apply.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Dingman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Going to find some selling, traveling 35E both directions between Highway 36 and I-94. 394 eastbound's jammed up 100 into Minneapolis, and 494 eastbound got your slowdowns placed between the Bush Lake Roads and Portland Avenue. Saving organics at Whole Foods Market. Get organic black, red, and green seedless grapes for $4.89 per pound with Prime through June 9th. They're the perfect summer snack while supplies last. Shop and store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us our forecast. We are under an air quality alert. You can feel it out there. That'll last until 9 o'clock. Overnight, we're watching for showers and thunderstorms. Could get kind of bumpy in the overnight. Low only 72. Tomorrow afternoon is the hot spot again. High of 88. Showers and thunderstorms we're watching for. Thursday, more of the same. Right now, it is 89. We didn't quite hit 90 yet, have we, here on CC?
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's known for the slow burn. He wanted to keep it organic, and I'm still begging for it. More controversy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I cry my eyes wide. Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real. Do you think it's forever?
Well, it's your last chance to take a whiff of something that is horrifying from the Things I Don't Get file. Corpse Flower Frenzy, Corpse Flower Palooza. The desire to wait in line and go smell something that stinks, that smells like rotting human flesh. I've seen the look on my wife's face when one of my teenage boys passes gas in the car. Now, is it
You
fair?
sure it's the boys?
According to me, it's one of the teenage boys. In my life, I have never farted. Never farted. Can you say farted on the radio?
Yes, you can. In the context of a blatant bald-faced lie, I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
How dare you? How dare you? I thought you were here to support.
What gave you that idea?
Well, no one likes things that stink, and so why do people line up for Horace? Como Zoo posting today is the last hurrah for Horace as Horace moves behind the scenes. What is wrong with you people? Why are you standing in line to smell a stinky flower? Just posted. The Como Zoo, man. These are some crazy people. Here's the post on their blog. It is with equal parts gratitude and sadness that we announce Horace the Corpse Flower has completed his 2026 bloom. After spending the better part of 2 years quietly growing behind the scenes, Horace emerged once again to remind us that patience is rewarded. Why are we rhapsodizing about just a stench, the stench of death?
So there's a local gal I follow on TikTok who posted a video of her taking her kid to go see the corpse flower. And so I commented, I'm like, honest question, because I've never understood what the draw is of going to this thing that smells horrible, that everybody's like, oh, this is awful. This is the worst thing ever. Let's go see it. I said, is it like a fear of missing out thing? Is it a FOMO bit? And she wrote back, I wanted my son to see it, plus nature is interesting. Which, I agree with that sentiment in general.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting things in nature that don't make you repel from the odor.
It's just weird. I think it's weird.
I don't get it.
It's a thing I don't get. A texter says he didn't even smell bad. Of course, I also didn't take a shower. So, I mean, sometimes that is one of life's fundamental questions, isn't it? Was it me? Was it me? It may
But you
be
can't exactly complain about somebody in line smelling bad when you're in line to smell something bad.
Next hour, we're going to talk about most annoying sounds in the world. Are there most annoying smells? I think a smell is maybe the strongest like memory trigger for me. Like I can think of what my grandma's house smelled like when I was a boy. I can think, there's certain that smell sort of.
Oh yeah, no, that becomes very connected in our.
Is there a smell that disgusts you?
There's plenty of smells that are disgusting. Spoiled milk. That's pretty bad.
Spoiled milk.
And yet,
is
what's
bad.
the first thing we do when we sell and the milk's gone bad? Here, smell this.
Smell this. Yeah. Spoiled dairy.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yogurt. Trying to think for me if there's a smell I don't love. Eggs, like kind of that like there's like a scrambled egg smell. I don't really like the smell of cottage cheese.
There's that sulfur smell, that they put in natural gas just to be disgusting and get your attention.
I actually don't mind the smell like when people are, breaking wind. Doesn't really bother me. Weed, the smell of weed, I think is, I know some of you guys like it. We used to not have to smell this all the time. I like the smell of a pre-owned luxury timepiece, tell you that much. ContinentalDiamond.com, time check, 358. Tell you, you're in that store in St. Louis Park, surrounded by millions of dollars of jewelry. Everything smells just fine right there. Top of the hour, we're talking about going on vacation, but spending time apart.
You know the feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Free shipping this month at minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, and tell them Jordana sent you.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Everyone worth hearing, everything worth knowing. News Talk 830 WCCO.
1029 HD2, Minneapolis.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. President Trump is blaming Iran for this morning's downing of an Apache Army helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president posted on social media that the two pilots involved were safe and uninjured, but he now says that the United States, quote, must of necessity respond to this attack. He does not get specific in his social media post, and the White House hasn't responded to our questions about this, about what he might do now against Iran because of this takedown of the helicopter.
A Texas jury deliberated 3 hours before finding teenager Carmelo Anthony guilty of murder. Jurors didn't buy his claim of self-defense in the stabbing of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer.
It's clear that the prosecution's closing argument, getting the last word, saying that swift justice needed to be met and that this was not self-defense. The idea of bringing a knife to a fist fight, the proportionality of the self-defense is too high. If someone attacks you with their fist, you're supposed to respond with your fist. If someone attacks you with deadly force, like a knife or a gun, you can do that, but you can't escalate it. And so what this verdict tells me is that the jury did not buy the self-defense claim. They thought that Carmelo Anthony escalated this too high and that he's guilty of murder.
They're voting today in primaries in 4 states. Control of the Senate could fall on Maine voters as they decide if they can overlook recent allegations about frontrunner Graham Plattner. The first 4 people on the next moon mission just got their orders.
We are returning to the moon, a grand adventure back to the lunar surface to build a moon base and to do so for all of its scientific, its economic potential, and to master the skills for where we will inevitably go next.
The announcement from NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, the Artemis III crew includes 3 Americans and 1 Italian astronaut. They will dock with a moon module for an eventual boots down on the lunar surface. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 87 degrees at 4:02. I'm Laura Oakes. Minneapolis police say a woman, child, and dog have been released from a South Minneapolis apartment where an armed suspect has been holed up for several hours. The situation has been unfolding near 28th Street and Nicollet Avenue after authorities say the suspect fired shots at Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies attempting to serve an arrest warrant. Lisa Clements with the outreach and advocacy group A Mother's Love is on the scene helping neighbors who have been evacuated and other community members who have gathered.
So we came out here for trauma work and to make sure that everybody else was safe and to get updated information to them as we get it from law enforcement.
Clemens also telling our Taylor Rivera they have been dispelling rumors on social media that police shot an unarmed black man. Sheriff's Department officials say there have been no injuries reported this afternoon. The all clear has been given following an hours-long standoff in Coon Rapids.
Authorities were called to a home on Idlewise Street Northwest early this morning after a suspect in an alleged stabbing incident refused to leave the home. Coon Rapids police say an adult male who reported being stabbed was taken to a local hospital with a non-life-threatening cut to his arm. The suspect is in custody.
That's WCCO's Ari Bergeron. The attorney representing a whistleblower within the Minneapolis Police Department says more could come soon about the alleged misconduct of former Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. Chris Maddle telling WCCO's Chad Hartman his client has faced continued retaliation for bringing damaging information to light, detailed in a Minnesota Star Tribune article.
His motive simply was to tell the truth and to end this sort of facts constantly being swept under the rug and this culture of intimidation and retaliation. It has to stop, Chad. It just has to stop.
The 32-page lawsuit has not been filed in court. Maddle says that decision is ultimately up to his client. Nearly 500 Target Field concessions workers employed by Delaware North say they will announce a strike date on Thursday. This comes after 81% of the workers voted to authorize a strike last month, citing concerns about wages, health care, and job security. Minnesota Gophers starting quarterback Drake Lindsay speaking out for the first time after he was arrested in Arkansas last month for underage possession of alcohol and possession of fake identification.
Yeah, as the leader of the football team, I understand I, can't make those decisions. I've certainly grown a lot from them and learned a lot. I apologize to the administration, our staff, all the players, and I'll certainly grow from this and continue to.
Head coach PJ Fleck says they're handling the incident internally. He did not expand on any kind of disciplinary action against Lindsay. And the Minnesota Wild signing Michael McCarron to a 6-year, $20 million contract today. The 31-year-old center was acquired from the Nashville Predators in a mid-season trade and is coming off a career-high season. WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things were slow for 35 East southbound, Little Canada Road, all the way down toward Highway 13, traveling crosstown westbound. Got your slowdowns there as you come away from Highway 55. 35W northbound slows into Minneapolis as you move past 42nd Street. 394 eastbound is jammed up 100 into downtown. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, wills, trusts, and probate law. Find them at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
It stays warm and humid into the night tonight, 72 the overnight low. The storms out west will work their way across our great state while we sleep tonight, so don't be shocked if you wake up to some rumbles and some very heavy rain during the overnight hours. Tomorrow will be dry for a while, then scattered showers and thunderstorms will pop in the afternoon. Some of those could be severe, with all severe ingredients in play, from hail to damaging winds to even tornadoes. Tomorrow's high still around 88, behind the cold front that triggers those storms. Highs only of 74 and much less humid by Thursday.
Mostly sunny, 87 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one knows the state of the states like we do. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, 407, this standoff still going on Eat Street in Minneapolis. We'll do our best to keep you updated over the next hour. Twins baseball pregame starting at 5 o'clock. But guy barricaded, been firing shots.
Star Tribune reported that the people that were barricaded in there along with this suspect have been released.
It's just a guy in his Barca Lounger
just the guy
right now.
Well, I don't know about Barca Lounger, but they also reported that within the last 4 minutes, more shots were heard in quick succession. And then officers have also deployed flashbangs.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I know you can't just I don't know the whole situation. He's in an apartment. Obviously, everybody else is out of there at this point. But you don't want to put any officers in danger. So I guess you sort of can wait it out as long as you want to wait it out. Not great. Dangerous stuff for sure.
You can. The other issue then is he's firing shots indiscriminately, obviously.
Yeah, what do you do?
Other people hopefully aren't in the area at this point. They've got that all cleared out, but at some point you're risking other people's safety by not going in. So it's a very tricky act for police.
I know we have these sort of robots now that you can send in. There are different options, but difficult situation for sure. So we'll keep you updated here on CCO. I saw this story this morning that just is the craziest thing I've heard. And I need to know if you guys would consider this, because Alyssa and I are going on a brief vacation. Well, she's got to work and I'm tagging along to Chicago. But we're going on a little couples trip to Grandview Lodge in 2 weeks. And there's some new research out that says the best thing for couples when they go on vacation together is to spend a little time apart. Headline. Well, first of all, would you ever go on vacation with your husband or wife and say, you know what, Tuesday night, we're going out separately? 651-461-9226. Have you, someone has done this. And I cannot imagine the relationship hack travelers swear by for stress-free vacation. And the hack is carving out alone time. What is wrong with you people in your relationships? Why are you in such a weird relationship that you go on vacation together and carve out time alone? Is my marriage that weird that the idea of spending time apart on vacation is so inconceivable to me that it has made me absolutely lose my mind just thinking about it. Absolutely crazy. It makes no sense to me. And no one is doing this. This is a relationship hack from like online goofballs who are just trying to get people like me worked up. Pete is in South St. Paul. Pete, you would not go on vacation with your significant other and spend time apart, would you?
Every time.
No way. How does this play out?
No, calm down. Just take a little sweat
All right.
yourself.
All right,
okay.
I'll take a moment. You lay it on me, Pete.
Here's how it works. She loves to sleep in. And she should do that whenever she wants. I'm fine with that. Me, on the other hand, 6 a.m. at the latest. I'm up. So I always plan me time, and it's usually something cool that's a guy thing. And as long as I'm back by noon and ready to go do something, at that point, we're good. So I plan time for me every trip just so I can, get her wishes to get some rest, and I can use that time instead of sitting there waiting for her to wake up.
Now, do you think it would be different if like it were nighttime time where you wanted some me time, say from 7 to 10 p.m.?
Oh, I would never do that. We like our evenings out. That's a special time for us.
I think that makes sense, Pete. The idea, all right, Pete has given me a scenario that I'm going to allow it. Pete, I allow it. I think you're the idea for sure. If my wife, and I have done this before, now that you mention it, I have let Alyssa sleep, and while she's sleeping, I'm like, I'm going to go get coffee. I like to go to coffee shops. She doesn't really care about coffee, but she does it to, assuage my needs. But I'll go separately, but not till noon. Like, that's a long time. Very interesting. All right, it works for you. It's good, Pete. Thank you. Nancy is on the line as well in St. Louis Park. Nancy, thanks for listening. Do you schedule me time on a vacation?
Yeah.
Really?
You should too. You're going with Alyssa on her business trip, right? I do that a lot with my husband. So he's tied up, which is awesome because I can do whatever I want. That's one example.
Well, that's true. Like for sure on Monday while Alyssa's working, I'm going to be out in Chicago doing stuff all day.
Yeah. But like we've gone to some, like all-inclusive resorts. He wants to be in the shade reading his fishing magazine, and I want to be doing, water Zumba and, like all that kind of stuff. So absolutely, we, separate there. And in fact, we are blessed enough to go on a work all expense paid trip every year. And we choose different activities. Like you could go fly fishing or you can go in the Jeep. And so, he goes fly fishing and I go do, I go to the spa.
Nancy, do you guys spend a lot of time together in non-vacation world and regular life?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been married 32 years. We've got 4 kids.
Oh, you got it worked out.
Yeah.
You got it worked out. Yeah, I think that's one of the things in this story they were talking about is that, especially because people are working from home or working hybrid and people are spending so many hours together in regular life that vacation does become that moment where maybe you do have a little time apart.
Yeah, I would agree. And I also, I'm biased. I've got the best husband in the world. If I said, listen, I want to go out by myself, he'd be like, whatever makes you happy, honey.
Yeah.
He's really would. I wouldn't do that in the evening, I don't think, just like Pete, but he would just say, whatever makes you happy.
Interesting. It's really good. That sounds great. Thank you, Nancy. It sounds like your husband got pretty lucky too. Like she's saying anybody who says their husband is the best husband in the world after 32 years of marriage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know. It's so foreign to me, and partially because like Alyssa and I have always had sort of separate schedules. And since being empty nesters, this is the first time that we have spent a lot of time in the same house together because I'm working or whatever. Texters, Jason, isn't the whole point of taking a vacation together to spend time together? That's what I always thought it was. Another texter says, wife and I just went to Cocoa Beach, Florida. I went down to the beach to hang out. She hung out at the pool for one day. I just took a nap on the beach. She sat at the pool drinking margaritas, and at dinner time, we met back at the room. It's very interesting. It's so foreign to me, but it does, the way people are explaining it does make sense.
I grew up in a family where everybody but me, when we were on a vacation, wanted to be out doing stuff, and I just wanted to chill out at the hotel room and relax. And that was always kind of a grating conflict source in my family. So I sort of have empathy for this idea of if you're married to somebody and you're compatible in all of these different ways, but you have different views of how you want to spend a vacation, then maybe the best thing to do is just say, okay, this portion of the vacation, we're going to do the things you want to do. This portion, we're going to do the things I want to do. And then we're going to have this little time in between where we can just go do our own things and everybody gets what they want. And we find that middle ground.
Yeah. As texter sort of picks up on that theme that you're sharing, Dan, that if you or your spouse are extroverts or you and your spouse are introverts, like the introvert, or you've got a kind of one of each, I think is sort of the scenario. The introvert may want to hang out at the pool, or the extrovert may want to go out and do something. It's just very interesting to me. Like Alyssa is an extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
So she is introverted, but she likes being around people. So we don't have those sorts of, I suppose it also might be different depending on how long you've been together and when you've met. So we met at 19 and 20 and sort of developed our likes together.
Yeah.
So the things we like to do are the same. Now, if I say, if you meet someone in your 40s, you're probably locked in on what you like to do. You'll expand a little bit, but you're not going to fundamentally change. And so maybe, yes, maybe it does make sense.
And I think that also works with the two of you because, like I said, as the extroverted introvert, you're the extrovert's extrovert, right? So she sort of has that buffer where she can get that socialization that she wants. But when it gets to start to be a little bit too much, well, you're there to take some of the pressure off of her socially. So that sort of blends very, very well together, I think, as a relationship. Yeah. There's another texture that said something that got my attention, by the way. Said the only time that's okay is if you're going to Disney and the other person doesn't want to go to Star Wars for the 5th time. To which I would say, if you're with somebody and they don't want to go to the Star Wars for the 5th time, you've married the wrong person. I'm sorry. That's not a match. I apologize, but you're better off just going your separate ways, I think.
That's it. You guys have taught me something today. I thought this was crazy. I still think it's a little crazy.
I'm not saying I
get it, but I get it now.
I'm not saying I sent you this story because I thought you would think it was crazy. I'm just not saying that.
Yeah. It's tonight at dinner. I'm going to tell Alyssa that I have an idea for our next vacation. And I'll report tomorrow on how that works out.
You're going to shoot that reaction on video?
Let's break in a minute. Minneapolis has a decision to make when it comes, again, what to do about George Floyd Square. We're going to talk about that. What a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. I do have a take on what I think the city council should do later this week when it comes to that former gas station that the city owns. And we'll talk about that next here on Drive Time.
To Russia, tuned up and rolling, thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. That's the website I want you to check out because there are so many good ideas, recipe inspiration galore on what you can do with Minnesota pork. It's Jason here for our friends at Minnesota Pork. 3,000 family farmers every corner of the state working so hard, man. You look at the hot weather today. How'd you like to be a pig farmer? Whew. We're talking about smells. Well, the truth is at a modern pig farm, the smells are not quite what maybe the state fair pig situation is. But they're working so hard to make reliable, safe, lean, high protein, consistent pork that feeds Minnesota, feeds America, and feeds the world. Now, for you, it's all about what are you going to do with that Minnesota pork? And I want you to find that inspo at tastewhatporkcando.com. I love the idea, especially as we're in the summer, thinking about fresher, lighter meals, a pork power bowl. So many people are thinking about protein in their diets. Think about a pound of pork tenderloin that you cube, you cook up, maybe in the air fryer. You've got it in a bowl of veggies or a bowl of rice or a salad. Pork power bowl, why not? Takes 15 minutes to cook, 30 minutes to put together. Boom, you got dinner or lunches for a week. Many ideas just like that at tastewhatporkcando.com. Go to the grocery store, the butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
I'm here with Alec Sherrod, a top mergers and acquisitions attorney with Helmuth & Johnson. Alec, Minnesota laws can be complex. How do you make sure you're on the right path?
At Helmuth & Johnson, we help businesses and individuals navigate Minnesota's laws with clarity and confidence. We understand how Minnesota's laws and courts work, and we guide you every step of the way.
So it's not just knowing the law, it's knowing Minnesota.
Exactly. Practical advice, local experience, real solutions.
If you're looking to buy or sell a business, go to hjlawfirm.com. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Since taking office, I have delivered more than $65 million in investments back to our district. I'm also fighting to hold ICE agents accountable in Minneapolis. First and foremost, my office is here to help you. If you need to resolve issues with your Social Security or veteran benefits, please reach out to my team at omar.house.gov. When Washington isn't working for you, I will.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you! We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word, everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
When you're at work, you never know when you'll be interrupted. But with the Dell Pro, powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro, no matter what distracts you, your laptop won't. It's battery optimized for the way you work with built-in intelligence that quiets distractions when you need to focus. Your laptop will help keep you locked in, even when it's bring your dog to work day. Built for those who stay in the flow. The Dell Pro, built for you. Dell.com/Dell-Pro.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, just a reminder, we are giving away Twins tickets today. It is Twins Ticket Tuesday, so when you hear that sounder, caller number 3 gets a 4-pack of tickets to this Sunday's game, Twins versus St. Louis Cardinals. I love these Sunday games at 110. Kids get free ice cream. Every kid 12 and under. We went with our nephews on a Sunday. It was great. You get like a kind of a popsicle or an ice cream sandwich every Sunday home game thanks to Target. So schedule your family outing by visiting twins.com/tickets. George Floyd Square is a disgrace. It is embarrassing that all these years later, George Floyd Square, if we're going to call it that, 38th in Chicago, is still in a state of flux. Now, you may have heard in Laura's news at the top of the hour that they did start construction and there is work going on at that intersection. So finally, they're, setting up kind of new roads, fixing the streets, going to reopen things up to buses and everything like that. Full city council was expected to talk about this today. And Thursday, they're scheduled to take a vote because I think a lot of people remember the former gas station at that corner. That gas station became kind of well, they call it the People's Way. It became a place where protesters were hanging out, a place for reflection. But it also looks like a dump. There's, the sign is kind of, taken out because they took the name of the gas station down. It says where there's people, there's power, kind of graffiti style up there. It's an eyesore. The city has allowed activists to be the bosses of this intersection. And I do understand that there's a point where you feel like, what's the other choice? Like, are we going in with the police and we're going to haul people out? Are we, as a city, going to occupy it? We have limited resources. I do understand the challenge in figuring this out. But the fact that we have spent all these years dithering and not making a decision as to what to do here really stinks. Now, the decision the city council is going to have to make is, do we let a developer, and by developer, I mean nonprofit, like, do we let one of two different nonprofits develop this abandoned speedway? The city bought it in 2023. In 2024, they opened up a process trying to find a developer, but no real developer wanted to do anything there. Because would you want to do anything there? No. And so two nonprofits applied. One, the sort of the Agape movement, which was sort of they're the violence interrupters down there. These people don't know anything about development. You're going to give them a $20 million project. They pitched a 6-story building, which they've since admitted there's no way that they're going to be able to pull off the funding and get this done. The runner-up is an organization led by George Floyd's aunt and cousin called Rise and Remember. And they pitched like a memorial garden and art museum. It's just, you can't approve any of this. You can't approve a nonprofit taking over a development project when you would never do that anywhere else in the city. You would never let people with no development experience, with no legit developer signed on to help them, handle a project that's such an important intersection symbolically, but also an area that I think people who live there and work there have been left in the lurch for many, many years. And it's asinine to me to think that we would turn this over. And the city has said, well, you get the applications you get. No. Do nothing. Knock down the gas station. Find a developer. Maybe the city needs to develop it. And I hate that, again, what this is doing is delaying the progress here even longer. Delaying it longer. Texters say, my opinion, it seems the people of the neighborhood know what they actually want there now, so do what they want to do. Simple. No. That's not how this works. In my neighborhood, you don't get a vote of whoever lives there. What do you want to do? Well, what I want to do, I don't know if it's going to be commercially viable. I don't know if someone's going to be able to afford to keep it up, if someone's going to be able to continue it going for 20 or 30 years from now. In these nonprofits, maybe you can get the funding together, but my goodness, I just think this is so crazy.
Quick on-air show meeting. The United States has launched retaliatory attacks against Iran. ABC News is going to have an update here in 20 seconds. Would you like to take that?
I would. Let's do it.
So at 4:30, we'll take that.
All right. Breaking news right now. The president said that he was going to strike back in response to the downing of the helicopter, a ceasefire that has been fraught and fragile for months, today reigniting with a U.S. military strike at Iran. Here's the latest from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Wayne Cabot. The U.S. now launching strikes against Iran. U.S. Central Command saying that American forces began the strikes against Iran at 5 p.m. Eastern at the commander-in-chief's direction. CENTCOM says the attacks are a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. President Trump accusing Iran of shooting down a U.S. Army Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The president saying he will respond to the attack, and that's what's happening now. Service members on the helicopter were rescued by a drone, says ABC's Louis Martinez.
All of this happened during nighttime. In the middle of the night, around 4 in the morning local time, as this helicopter, normally accompanied by another helicopter, would have been operating together. And then we know now that this boat drone was able to pluck them out of the water.
Iran says the best way for foreign forces near the This is ABC News.
So that is the latest. The U.S. military striking Iran in response to that helicopter that was taken out earlier today. A 2-week ceasefire was announced, but we never quite got to a peace deal. And so here we go again. We'll continue monitoring it. ABC News on it as well. Let's break. It's 4:31. Twins baseball on the air here at 5 o'clock. We got breaking news on Eat Street as well. Taylor Rivera monitoring that situation where Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies and Minneapolis police have been on scene for much of the afternoon, keeping people out of that area because of a standoff that was related to the serving of a warrant. There have been a number of gunshots fired there. Nobody injured so far, and nobody currently held hostage. But we'll update you on all of that as we continue here on Drive Time.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
It's becoming popular for tech companies to develop their own artificial intelligence processors as the AI spending boom continues to rocket higher. The information reports that Chinese tech giant ByteDance, which owns the global TikTok brand, is reportedly developing AI chips, with ByteDance hoping its chip will be able to run AI models at a lower cost than its rivals. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jason here from my friends at J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. If you've got a special event coming up, you've got to get to J.H. & Sons. You're going to experience a level of service that'll remind you of the good old days. It reminds me for sure. Because when it comes to menswear, I know that I need some help finding the cuts that are going to fit me well, the fashions, the fabrics. What's the difference and what's worth stepping up, having something a little nicer for something that's going to last for season after season? J.H. & Sons can help you get there. The Halberstadt family has been dressing men in Minnesota for more than 50 years. You might know Halberstadt's in St. Cloud. J.H. is Jeff Halberstadt, and his sons are generations 2 and 3 that are turning men's clothing shopping into something special again. The shop at the Gallery in Edina is amazing. You're going to love it. It's beautiful. The selection is through the roof. If you got a graduation or you have a big job interview or a wedding coming up, go see Chuck and Bryce and Alicia and Dean and the whole crew at J.H. & Sons. You can sign up for their email list. You'll be the first to know about sales and special events in the store. That is at jhandsons.com.
John, Kim, based on your current budget, I recommend cutting back on unnecessary luxuries. Like what? Groceries beyond bread and water, gas above half a tank, streaming channels that don't have the show The Pit, and pretty much name brand anything.
Whoa, but what about Twins tickets?
Oh, those are fine. I mean, they're free with Twins Ticket Tuesday on CCO.
Okay.
Your portfolio may be struggling. Your summer doesn't have to. No interest, no payments, just baseball with Twins Ticket Tuesday on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Curtis James of Bear Market Financial Services.
A true financial advisor is not just a wealth manager. It's not picking the right stocks, but truly building a retirement plan to have fun, to do the things you want to do, and then most importantly is relieve that stress to help you navigate this important chapter of your lives.
Making retirement easier on Retirement Simplified with Curtis James, Sunday evenings at 6 on WCCO.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Dingman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
694 eastbound slows as move between Central Avenue and Highway 10, 35 east southbound congested, Highway 36 all the way down to Highway 13, 494 eastbound. Get ready for slowdowns there past Piper Road and over to Concord Boulevard. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan bringing us the weather forecast, round one of the storms we're watching for tonight. Here's Chris Schaefer.
There will be showers and thunderstorms, but it's overnight tonight, actually during the early morning hours. 72 the overnight low. Will be dry for a chunk of time tomorrow before more showers and thunderstorms fire up in the afternoon hours. Some of those will be severe again. A high around 88, still humid. Once that storm line clears, the dew point drops. In other words, much less humid by Thursday, cooler. Only a high of 74 with scattered showers.
Looks like we're 1 degree shy of the big 90, 89 and sunny on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You can't have people telling you 24/7 that you're great. You need people around you to say, hey, that's a bad idea.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, so we'll keep you up to date on the U.S. retaliatory strikes that have started against Iran. I mean, you knew this thing wasn't just going to keep floating along forever without any sort of response. The president earlier today said that Iran shot down that U.S. helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz. And his quote was, the United States must of necessity respond to that attack. Unjustified Iranian aggression is what Central Command said in a statement, saying they launched these strikes just about 40 minutes ago. I mean, you hate to make it all about me and all about us, Dan. but I just filled up a gas tank today for $3.99, you know? And you're like, do we have to? Couldn't.
Surely you're not suggesting that gas stations are going to use this to try and gouge the public some more.
Wow.
Texter does ask, was there any proof or evidence that Iran was responsible for bringing down the helicopter?
Well, no details have really been given. Right?
Well, no, I mean, I've seen several reports that it was an Iranian drone and reports from sources that wouldn't necessarily be directly from the United States government. So I think it's pretty fair to
assume
to believe this one.
But Iran didn't take responsibility.
Which is so unlike them.
I know. Well, you would think they would be proud of it, right? They're like, yeah, we took down a U.S. Apache helicopter. Things have been heating up over the last couple of days. Israel attacking Lebanon. Lebanon has been kind of a big issue in trying to figure out, are we going to get this thing settled or not? My main frustration on the Iran war is that I am very open to the justification for it, right? Like there is real reason to be concerned that Iran is developing a nuclear weapon, and if they had it, that they would use it against us or our allies. So I understand that. And I think the problem is that administration after administration has considered this, but there's been an incredible amount of reporting that has said the reason that, George W. Bush and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama and Trump the first time didn't pull the trigger on this is because of the fear that Iran was going to lock down the Strait of Hormuz, restricting the flow of oil. And that indeed is what happened. And I think the United States underestimated Iran's ability to do that. They thought the initial attack after the attack that supposedly, remember, we decimated their military and their nuclear capability months ago? Guess not. So it's the lack of planning to me and the lack of sort of this false confidence that you thought like, well, we're going to do it right. So all of these years of the military experts saying like, oh, I don't think Iran doesn't care. They are going to blockade. And you thought, well, we thought we got their mine launching ships, but in fact, what they had was incredible capacity to launch missiles from shores and use drones. And so they got us. That's what drives me, makes me more mad. If the United States is going to go into military action against somebody, I want us to win. And we had great success earlier in South America. And this time it has been a quagmire for sure.
I think we also may have underestimated Iran's drone capability. And in a weird, ironic kind of way, drone technology has simplified a ton, thanks in large part to Ukraine.
Right.
Ukraine has sort of taught the world a new form of warfare using very cheap but very accurate drones to deliver munitions. And Iran has jumped all over that. And apparently, again, that's what was involved here in this helicopter crash was an incident with a drone.
Another drone. Yeah, it's changed warfare, right? It's obviously drones are much less expensive. It takes much less military know-how, I guess, to kind of get this going. And so we're seeing sort of the ability of Iran to use that. And we'll see. The U.S. is what is the wave of attack going to look like? We'll see. And ABC News will be monitoring that for us. Sort of strange for us to get used to that after all those years of CBS News. But ABC News has you covered for sure. Let's break right now. Twins baseball will be on the air pregame at 5 o'clock because the Twins are in Detroit. First pitch at 5:40. I want to update us as well on the breaking news that's going on in South Minneapolis. Eat Street, a busy restaurant corridor, Is there anything new on that standoff that's been going on now for what, 5 hours plus? About 28th and Nicollet. A lot of those restaurants, Rainbow Chinese, a restaurant in that area that has had a party scheduled for today. They canceled it because of this ongoing police activity in the area. Drive Time covering breaking news here at home and around the world when we come back.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here with a recommendation. Have you had a full body skin checkup? Have you ever had a full body skin checkup? If you have a history of skin cancer in your family, you should think about that full body skin checkup. And I absolutely love the team at Tureen Dermatology. You can book an appointment online at one of their 11 locations, Tureen, T-A-R-E-E-N, dermatology.com. Now, this month is Acne Awareness Month. And I don't know about you guys. Everybody gets like different kind of acne. I would get like the big honkers, you know? Some people had like full face breakout. I would get like the big bad boy. And of course, right before like a dance, right? Homecoming dance coming up. Jason gets stressed. Boom. Red alert. I thought it'd be done by adulthood. It's not how it works. We know that acne and acne scarring could affect your confidence. It affects your daily life. It affected me. Affected my teenagers who both got incredible care, personalized care at Tureen Dermatology. If acne is something you or your teenagers or your grandkids deal with, recommend that they reach out to the experts. Tureen Dermatology can see new patients within 3 weeks. 11 locations. Check them out and start that journey into confidence and do it at TureenDermatology.com.
We're gonna win, twins, we're gonna score.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's nothing more beautiful than family and friends gathered for a meal around Brofka's Marshall dining set.
Ideal for eat-in kitchens and multi-purpose spaces.
A 44-inch table with 4 upholstered chairs is Craftsman direct priced from $71.12 or $297 a month for 24 months.
Marshall beautifies your space.
And your homely cousin.
Oh, Jim. Borofka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing.
In Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Borofka.
Decidedly beautiful.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash on the ramp west 94 to westbound 394 to be on the lookout for. Patrol is with it. Left side of the ramp is blocked. That's hoping to keep things slow as you come in from Cedar Avenue, South 94 into the Lowry Hill Tunnel. That's a jam up that begins back at Plymouth Avenue. Over on the east side, 94 eastbound slows as you make way between Lexington and downtown. And West 94 is jammed up Carmichael Road to the St. Croix River. Jerry Peterson, News Talk ATO, WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, we are watching for some potentially severe weather in the overnight hours tonight, and then we're going to do it again tomorrow. But let's focus on tonight. Air quality alert until 9 p.m., low of 72. In the very late night, early morning hours, overnight showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, we get up to 88. Similar day, similar routine. Watching the afternoon for that. We'll keep you on it. It's what we do here at CCO right now. In downtown Minneapolis, it is sunny. It is 88 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I feel like you're wasting my time talking about something that I wasn't a part of. It's like the most intellectually bankrupt. This is just terrible.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can't move on.
All right, before we bring you to Twins baseball, I want to update what's going on Eat Street near Rainbow Chinese Restaurant, near Eat Street Crossing, which is a food hall. This is 28th in Chicago, where there's a standoff that's been going on since about 11:30 this morning when shots were fired towards Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies who were serving a warrant. Our Taylor Rivera has been on the scene for most of the afternoon. She is live there right now. Taylor, this thing's still going on, huh?
Yeah, Jason. I got an update from witnesses when I got here at Sauer, just saying that sometime during the 4 o'clock hour, this person inside this apartment building actually shot out a police drone, which was taken down. He's still shooting at police periodically, hour by hour, and he's still alive, and they are still negotiating with him at this hour.
The Star Tribune just reported about 10 minutes ago that the suspect is a 31-year-old man who was arrested during a traffic stop in Austin about 4 years ago in Austin, Minnesota, convicted and sentenced for drug and weapons possession. So that's not what this warrant was necessarily about, but it does indicate it is this 31-year-old guy that they had an interaction with in South Minneapolis. What we know, investigators have said that at one point there were people in this apartment or in this residence with this guy, right?
Yeah, there was one woman, one child, and one dog that were extracted from this situation about 2 hours ago. We're being told that that's his wife and child, but that's yet to be confirmed.
What is the setup there? Because I know, like all the restaurants, there's like a Mexican grocery store on that intersection. Are these like second-story apartment type setup we're looking at?
Yeah, so these appear to be apartments that are behind that Rainbow building that you were mentioning earlier. And there are still snipers with Hennepin County sheriffs on a building across from that apartment complex pointed there, but still no injuries.
A little unnerving, right? Like this area is part of South Minneapolis where it was, these folks were dealing with a lot of the immigration surge activity around Eat Street. That is a couple of blocks from where Alex Preddy was killed. Not saying that any of that is connected, but having snipers and law enforcement, I would imagine for people who live down there is a little unnerving.
Yeah, I've spent the afternoon talking to a lot of community members that have the same sentiment, are not too happy with the constant police presence here, but still concerned about the violence that's going on. I mean, so many shots have been fired in this situation alone throughout the afternoon, and it's pretty unnerving for people.
All right, Taylor Rivera on the scene. We appreciate your reporting all afternoon. Thank you, Taylor. And
thanks, Jason.
Yeah, we'll update you, and certainly when it's clear. But a tough situation for law enforcement. You just, you're sort of hosed whatever you do there. You don't want to put your own deputies. You don't want to put your own officers in jeopardy. But this guy's shooting at a police drone, as Taylor reported. Holy moly. Just craziness. It is a reminder. And some commenters are saying like, oh, it's, Minneapolis, not safe. Like, get off it. Give me a break. Warrants are served in every corner of this state. And no matter what town you're in, anytime a law enforcement officer or agent serves a warrant, they are taking a risk because it is the unpredictability of someone who knows they've done something wrong and know the law is closing in on them. It is a scary moment for law enforcement always. It has nothing to do with where you're at. It has everything to do with that scenario. It is high risk, and I'm grateful for every law enforcement officer who knocks on that unknown door. And they're doing it to try to keep you and me safe going forward. Just a reminder today of the danger of that job. Luckily, nobody hurt, but I got a big old alert on my phone around 12:30 to stay out of that area. Maybe you got that alert as well, depending on what sort of warnings you're signed up for. Twins baseball on the air today. Dan, we did have a winner of Twins Ticket Tuesday, right? We did.
We sure did. Jeff in Invergrove Heights picked up tickets for Sunday. So,
nice.
Yes.
Excellent. Jeff, enjoy it. Taj Bradley. Let's hope we get good Taj tonight on the hill for Minnesota.
That would be helpful after dropping 3 or 4 to Kansas City.
Rough stretch.
Not good.
Not good. First pitch at 5:40. Hot out there. Stay safe tonight. Continental Diamond. Time check. It's 4:57. Time to check out the amazing selection of pre-owned luxury timepieces. Think about Father's Day. Think about graduation presents at ContinentalDiamond.com.
Chad back here with you. I want to talk about trust and